I design video games for iPhones, Androids, and other mobile devices. I design everything from how fast the player has to move, where on the screen you press, the UI buttons, anything that you see on the screen, how does it look when it pops up, how does it go away. I work with the artist and the engineer on making sure everything's smooth, making sure that when you press a button that the right thing happens, making sure that when you get a collectible you actually get points for it. When you get a certain number of collectibles you get a little star, and it's all cute and fun, and basically just make sure the game's fun, and there's a lot of things you have to do to make that work that goes on behind the scenes. There's a lot of decisions you have to make. We're finally in the stage right now where we've pretty much finished implementing all the major systems of the game. Everything from leaderboards, connecting to iPhone, connecting to servers and stuff like that. So all the hard stuff is pretty much done. The engineer, George Capote, has pretty much been working on that and getting all that smoothed out. And that's usually what you have to do first. You have to get all the systems running behind the scenes. There's a lot of work that goes on before you can actually even start the game.
I'm primarily a programmer, software engineer on the project that we're working on. For the most part, I handle all the hardest technical things that we need to do, not because I just love doing them, but because I have to do them, and someone has to. I handle a lot of design problems along with Micah. Being a small team, we all kind of share all responsibilities, so we're all sort of jacks of all trades, which is nice. One of the hardest things for us, being so small and so basically not funded at all, is just keeping ourselves motivated, keeping everybody who's involved motivated, keeping the team going, making sure we have everything we need for as cheaply as possible, since we don't have any sort of official budget. We pretty much just live off of savings that we've built up, over the time that we worked for one place or another. The project that we started from the very beginning was actually a prototype that I had done in between jobs after we got out of school, and it was that's all it was for a while before we actually had this chance to really sit down and dedicate, an extended period of time over the course of multiple months to actually do something.
So we started out with just blocks. The game was just completely blocks when we started out. It was just gray blocks and green blocks and orange circles and triangles and stars, and it was really ugly. But the point was just to get everything moving properly, just to get everything fluid and make sure everything was responsive to the controller, make sure everything was just playing well. Once we had all that down packed, once the game played perfectly, then we started going in. Then we got our artist to come in and actually layer over it with artwork, and he's able to just go in there, basically get some animations working, get the art looking nice, and basically just making it look awesome.
The general attitude of the game is based on a character that I drew. Right now he's called Larry, Litter Larry actually. The game's about eating garbage and flying through the air. The character he's not really cute, kind of looks like he smells. He's got 5 o'clock shadow. He's kind of an underdog character. This game is mostly 2D artwork, but it still uses a lot of the principles of basic 2D animation. We use a lot of software to animate the movements of the characters and make it feel alive. And it's a very complicated, long process depending on the game you're making. When you have a bunch of blocks floating around, they can literally be anything. They can be birds, they could be donuts, it doesn't matter. But it matters to the audience because the first thing they see is what the game looks like.
And once you have that, basically the game comes alive, and that's where the magic happens. It's all moving properly, and then it looks properly, and that's how you make a video game.